my precious child. I speak to you now with divine urgency, not to create anxiety within your spirit, but to stir the very depths of your soul to recognize the sacred moment you occupy in time and eternity. Your encounter with these words is no accident, no random occurrence in the vast tapestry of existence. This divine appointment was orchestrated in heaven's courts, planned in the councils of eternity, before dawn ever broke on this day, before you even knew you needed to hear from me. I have been observing your journey with the intimate attention of a loving father, watching every step, witnessing every struggle, seeing the heavy loads you've shouldered in silence. I have seen the invisible tears you've withheld when others were watching, felt the weight of the questions that surge within you during those long midnight hours when sleep eludes you and your mind races with uncertainties. I know the sleepless nights when you've stared at the ceiling, wondering if anyone truly sees your pain, your confusion, your desperate need for direction. I witness the whirlwind of bewilderment that swirls in your thoughts, the crushing burden of uncertainty that presses down upon your chest like a heavy stone, and that persistent ache dwelling deep in your heart, that unexplainable sadness that lingers despite the brave smile you wear for the world. You have become an expert at hiding your true feelings, at presenting a composed exterior while chaos reigns within. But I see beyond the mask. I see the real you, the hurting you, the questioning you, the you that desperately needs hope. Therefore, I pause your daily rhythm now. I interrupt the endless cycle of duties and distractions, not to increase your burdens or add to your overwhelming schedule, but to lift every single burden from your weary shoulders. I invite you to release your preoccupations, set aside your obligations, quiet your wandering thoughts, if only for this precious moment. I, the Lord your God, the Creator of all that exists, draw close to you with intentional purpose and divine precision that spans beyond human understanding. Divine intentionality in this encounter. My presence here with you right now is deliberate, calculated with heavenly wisdom, not coincidental or accidental. That stirring you've been experiencing deep within your spirit, that sense of invisible transformation beginning to take place in the unseen realms, the tension that persists even in your peaceful moments, that is my voice calling to you across the dimensions of time and space. That restlessness you feel is not anxiety or mere human emotion. It is your spirit responding to my divine summons. A transformation approaches with the force of heaven behind it, not merely around you in your circumstances, but within your very being, in the core of who you are. A spiritual renaissance is dawning, a moment of divine clarity that will illuminate the darkness, and a shift that will redirect your life's trajectory completely if you choose to embrace it with open arms and a surrendered heart. You've sensed it, haven't you? That growing restlessness, that internal clamor you cannot quite identify or put into words. This isn't your imagination playing tricks on you. This isn't simple anxiety born of circumstances or mere exhaustion from life's demands. This is a spiritual alarm system, a divine alert that something significant is about to shift in the spiritual realm. The enemy of your soul has observed your potential with growing concern, has seen your promise with increasing alarm, has recognized your destined role in my greater narrative of redemption and transformation. The enemy's recognition and God's response. The adversary is laboring intensively, working overtime to obscure your spiritual vision before you fully comprehend what I am accomplishing in your life. He is throwing every distraction, every discouragement, every doubt in your path, because he knows that when you truly understand who you are and what you carry, his schemes will crumble like dust. He has seen the fire within you, the calling upon your life, the purpose I have ordained for you, and he is terrified. This is precisely why I am here now, why I speak directly to your heart in this moment. This is divine intervention of the highest order, a holy interruption in the normal flow of your life. I am placing my hand upon your heart with tender authority and declaring with absolute certainty. Look again with spiritual eyes. Listen again with your spiritual ears. There is something infinitely greater I desire to reveal to you. Many throughout history have heard my voice and departed unchanged, their hearts remaining closed to transformation. They permitted the world's noise to drown out my whispers of love and purpose. They postponed obedience until what they thought would be the perfect moment, only to discover that the opportunity had vanished like morning mist, never to return in quite the same way. Do not walk that well-worn path of delay and excuse. The moment you inhabit right now carries the weight of eternity, holds the substance of destiny. It is pregnant with possibility, heavy with divine purpose. My spirit hovers nearby, waiting with infinite patience for your surrender, for your complete and undivided attention. An invitation to sacred pause. Remain with me in this sacred space. Don't rush past this moment in your hurry to return to the familiar. Don't dismiss these words as mere inspiration or emotional manipulation. I am pouring something sacred into the depths of your being, an insight that will not only transform your perspective completely, but will restore your inner strength in ways you never thought possible. You are weary, my child, and I see it all. You are tired not only from physical exertion and the demands of daily life, but from spiritual striving, attempting to maintain everything in your world, trying to be the strong one for everyone who depends on you, trying desperately to understand the why and when of all the challenges you're confronting. You've been carrying weights that were never meant for your shoulders alone. You've endeavored tirelessly to make sense of the delays that have frustrated your plans, the detours that have confused your journey, the doors that remain stubbornly closed despite your prayers and efforts. You've questioned my timing, wondered about my methods, and sometimes even doubted my goodness when things didn't unfold as you expected. Divine orchestration in every detail. But child, let me assure you with the authority of heaven, none of it was wasted time. None of it was random occurrence. Every single moment, every experience, every trial, every victory has been part of my meticulous preparation of your life. Every closed door was my protection, shielding you from paths that would have led to harm or distraction. Every delay was my perfect timing, aligning your life with something infinitely greater than anything you could construct with your own limited understanding and finite resources. You have not missed your moment of destiny. You are not behind schedule in my divine timeline. I am not disappointed in your progress or frustrated with your pace. You are exactly where you need to be, positioned perfectly for what I am about to release into your life, like a mighty river breaking through a dam. The heaviness you've been carrying is about to lift from your shoulders like morning fog dissipating before the sun. Not because your circumstances will instantly change, though some will, but because your spirit will be renewed, your perspective will be transformed, your inner man will be strengthened with my might. As you lean into my presence with expectant faith, you will begin to see the path I've been carefully laying out before you with entirely new eyes. What once felt like confusion will begin to make perfect sense. What seemed like devastating loss will be revealed as divine exchange. I was removing the inferior to make room for the superior, taking away what was temporary to give you what is eternal. Beyond rescue to reordering. I am not just rescuing you from the pain and mistakes of the past. I am completely reordering your future, restructuring your destiny, realigning your steps with my perfect will. This is far more than motivation or encouragement. It is a call to total realignment of your life with my purposes. I'm inviting you into a deeper level of trust than you've ever experienced, a surrender that doesn't just include your actions and behaviors, but encompasses your heart, your deepest motives, your most cherished dreams, and your most paralyzing fears. I want all of you, not just the parts you're comfortable sharing, but the hidden places, the wounded areas, the secret chambers of your heart. I know intimately the places in you that still doubt whether good things were ever really meant for someone like you. I see the parts of your heart that have settled for less than my best because disappointment became your teacher, instructing you not to expect too much, not to hope too high, not to dream too big. I see how you've protected yourself by lowering your expectations, by accepting mediocrity as your portion, undoing the lies, speaking life. But I'm undoing that lie right now with the power of my truth. I'm speaking life into the places where weariness has made its home for too long. I'm calling out the real you, the one I originally designed with infinite care, not the reduced version you've become because of pain, not the diminished person that trauma has tried to create. Even now, as you slowly absorb these words into your heart, you can feel me drawing near with tangible presence, that warmth spreading through your chest, that stirring in your spirit, that sudden stillness that quiets the chaos. That is my spirit confirming this word deep within your inner man. You are not merely being encouraged with empty words. You're being invited into complete transformation, into a metamorphosis that will change everything about how you see yourself and your future. You're being marked by heaven for a new movement of grace that will surprise you, divine favor that will open doors you never thought to knock on, and clarity that will cut through confusion like a sword through darkness. The foundation of surrender. The next chapter of your life does not depend on your effort, your striving, or your ability to figure everything out. It rests entirely on your surrender to my will and my ways. Give me your trust again, not just in words spoken in prayer, but in truth demonstrated through obedience. Lay down the crushing weight of trying to do it all, fix it all, understand it all, control it all. I'm not asking you to achieve perfection before I can use you. I'm asking you to be present with me, to show up in our relationship just as you are. Open your heart fully to me, even if it's bruised and battered. Release what no longer serves your destiny. Let go of what I never gave you to carry in the first place. You're not a problem I'm trying to solve or a puzzle I'm struggling to figure out. You're a masterpiece I'm still refining, a work of art I'm still creating. My plan for your life hasn't changed despite your mistakes and delays. Your name is still written in my book of destiny. And though the enemy has tried relentlessly to confuse you, delay you, discourage you, and even convince you to give up entirely, I have preserved you through it all. Preserved for purpose. You are here, alive and breathing, reading these words, not by accident, but because I've kept you. I've sustained you through every storm, carried you through every valley, and protected you from dangers you never even knew existed. The pain you endured did not define your identity or limit your potential. Instead, it shaped you, refined you, prepared you for what is next in my plan for your life. The silence you felt during those dark seasons was not my absence or abandonment of you. It was my preparation, the way I worked behind the scenes to orchestrate circumstances, prepare hearts, and align divine appointments. And now the season is shifting dramatically. I am doing a new thing in your life, something fresh and unprecedented. Even now it is springing forth like flowers after winter. Can you not perceive it with your spiritual senses? Seeds of resurrection power. Listen closely, my child, for I continue to draw you deeper into the revelation of what I'm revealing. This is not surface work I am doing in you, some shallow, temporary improvement. It is foundational transformation that reaches to your very core. It is eternal work that will last throughout time and into eternity. I am not interested in providing temporary relief that fades with the morning light, but in bringing lasting renewal that transforms you from the inside out. That stirring within your spirit, it is resurrection power awakening. What felt like endings, like death to your dreams and hopes, were not actually death at all. They were the burial of seeds, the planting of potential in the fertile soil of surrender. Seeds that I planted in the dark seasons when you thought I had forgotten you, when you felt abandoned and alone, but I never left you. Not for a single second. Not in your darkest hour, not in your deepest pain, not in your most confusing moments. Even in your lowest point, when you thought you couldn't go on, I was there, holding back destruction with my mighty hand, whispering hope into your spirit, even when you couldn't hear it, guiding you through the fog of confusion, even when you couldn't see the way. And now those seeds I planted in secret are beginning to sprout with divine life. In the rich soil of your struggle, something sacred has taken deep root. Faith has grown strong in the shadows where others couldn't see. Strength has been forged in the silence where only you and I knew what was happening. You did not wither under the pressure. You were being watered by my grace, nurtured by my love. Time to emerge. And now it is time. Time to emerge from the cave of hiding where you've been protected and prepared. Time to rise from the posture of mere survival where you've been crouched in defense. You are not made to merely get through life, to just endure until the end. You were designed and created to live abundantly, courageously, intentionally, with purpose and power flowing through every day. But that transformation begins not by striving harder, working more, or trying to force things to happen. It begins by listening deeper to my voice, by drawing closer to my heart, by learning to recognize my whispers above the world's shouts. I'm not calling you to spiritual exhaustion or religious burnout. I'm calling you to intimacy with me, to relationship that refreshes rather than depletes. Your first assignment in this new season is not to fix everything that's broken, produce impressive results, or perform at a level that earns approval. Your first assignment is simply to come close to me. The call to intimacy. Let me fill you again with my presence, my peace, my power. Let me speak to the parts of you that haven't heard words of life in a long time, the places in your heart that have been silent and empty. I see how you've pushed through difficulty with determination. I see how you've encouraged others while secretly battling your own discouragement. I know about the mask you wear to appear strong for others, but I am calling you to take it off completely in my presence. You do not need to impress me with your spirituality or performance. I already know you fully. Every thought, every motive, every fear, every dream. And I love you completely just as you are. You can be undone here in my presence. You can weep here without shame. You can bring me the dreams you buried when they seemed impossible, the questions you silenced when they seemed inappropriate, the hopes you were afraid to hope again because disappointment hurt so much. I will not shame you for your honesty. I will not scold you for your humanity. I will not reject you for your imperfection. I will meet you with mercy that overwhelms your guilt, grace that covers your shame, and love that heals your wounds. Breaking the too late lie. Do not believe for another moment the devastating lie that it is too late for you, that you've missed too many opportunities, that your story is too broken to become beautiful. That is the enemy's narrative designed to keep you trapped in despair, not mine. I am the God of restoration who specializes in the impossible. I restore what was lost, rebuild what was ruined, and redeem what was rejected by others. I am the God who turns graves into gardens, mourning into dancing, ashes into beauty, darkness into light, despair into hope. And I'm not just doing these miracles for other people while you watch from the sidelines. I'm doing it for you, personally and specifically. You are not the exception to my goodness. You are the target of it, the focus of my love and attention. Let go now of the crushing pressure to be perfect before I can use you. I never asked you for perfection, and I never required flawlessness as a prerequisite for my love. I asked for your heart, for your availability, for your willingness to be used. And when you give me your heart with all its imperfections, I give you my strength to accomplish what you could never do alone, my peace that passes understanding, my divine strategy that confounds human wisdom. I guide your steps not through fear and intimidation, but through fellowship and relationship. You don't have to guess your way through life anymore, wondering if you're making the right choices, worrying about every decision. I will lead you with clear direction. I will illuminate the next step when it's time to take it. You don't need to see the entire roadmap laid out before you. You just need me. And I'm not hiding from you. I'm not playing games or keeping secrets to frustrate you. I am here, present, available, ready to guide. Divine provision and shepherd care. You have worried extensively, haven't you, about provision for your needs, about direction for your future, about what tomorrow will bring. But I remind you now with absolute authority, I am your shepherd, your provider, your protector. You shall not want for anything you truly need. Even in the valley of uncertainty where shadows loom and the way seems unclear, I walk closely beside you. Even in the wilderness of confusion where nothing makes sense, I provide exactly what you need for each day. You will not be abandoned to figure things out on your own. You will not be left to navigate this complex world without guidance. I am actively aligning resources in your favor, bringing the right people into your path, orchestrating moments of divine appointment that will astound you. You will see doors open that no human being can shut, not because of your power, your connections, or your abilities, but because of my promise, my faithfulness, my commitment to your success. The requirement of radical trust. But you must choose to trust me again, and this time I'm calling for radical trust. Not half-hearted, conditional trust that depends on understanding my methods. Not cautious trust that keeps one foot in doubt. I'm calling for full, complete, abandoning trust that says yes to me even when it doesn't make logical sense. Trust me even when others doubt my plan for your life. Trust me when the path I'm leading you on looks strange and unfamiliar. Trust me when I ask you to do things that seem unconventional or risky by worldly standards. I am leading you through territories you've never explored because I am taking you to destinations few have dared to reach. This isn't punishment for past mistakes. This is preparation for unprecedented glory. I am building in you a resilience that will sustain revival when it comes, a purity that will preserve your purpose under pressure, an intimacy with me that will protect your influence when the spotlight finds you. Growth through holy discomfort. And yes, there will be moments of discomfort in this process. Growth always involves stretching beyond your comfort zone. Healing sometimes hurts as infections are cleansed and wounds are properly treated. But do not mistake the pain of growth for punishment from me. It is the pressure of new wine being poured into a new wineskin. You cannot return to who you were because that version of you cannot contain what I'm giving you next. The old wineskin of your former identity, your limited thinking, your small dreams, your survival mentality, it's not big enough for what I have in store. So embrace the tension you feel. It is holy tension, sacred stretching. You are being reformed in your thinking, realigned in your priorities, reborn in your spirit. What comes next in your life will require the new you, healed from past wounds, whole in your identity, hopeful about the future. Your unique process. Do not compare your process to anyone else's journey or timeline. I've written your story with unique details that reflect my creative genius. What looks like delay in your life is often divine orchestration happening behind the scenes. I'm not in a hurry because I see the end from the beginning, but I'm always perfectly on time. What I've promised you, I will perform with precision and excellence. I will not bring you this far in your journey only to abandon you at the crucial moment. My glory will be revealed in your story in ways that will leave you breathless with wonder. You will look back on this season and weep, not from pain or regret, but from overwhelming awe, from pure joy, from the stunning realization that I never left you, not for even a moment. The final whisper. And so I whisper again with tender insistence, come closer to my heart. Turn your attention fully toward me, away from distractions and toward my face. Quiet the noise of worry and anxiety. Let go of the weight of trying to control everything. Make room in your soul for what I'm about to do. For what I am about to accomplish in you, through you, and around you will require all of your heart, not because I am demanding or needy, but because I deserve your wholehearted devotion, and because you, my beloved, are worth every moment of the work I am doing. You are worth the waiting, worth the warfare, worth the investment of heaven's resources, because you are mine. Divine identity unveiled. Now that you have drawn nearer to my heart, let me pour into you treasures that have long been stored in the chambers of heaven. Truth that heals the deepest wounds, vision that anchors the soul in storms, and power that sustains through every challenge. You have tasted the bitter emptiness of chasing affirmation from a world that doesn't know your true value. You have learned through painful experience that no amount of applause can fill the void that only I was meant to occupy in your heart. Now I am inviting you into the fullness of authentic identity, not borrowed from others' opinions, not manufactured by your own efforts, but birthed from my eternal heart of love. This is not a new label to try on temporarily. This is a holy unveiling of who you've always been in my eyes. You were never meant to squeeze yourself into the molds that others tried to press you into. You were never designed to be a reflection of their expectations, their limitations, their small thinking. I did not form you to be a copy of someone else, but to be an original expression of my image, carrying something distinct, something divine that the world desperately needs. You've sensed it throughout your life, haven't you? That deep knowing that you were different, set apart, somehow not quite fitting into the normal patterns around you. That wasn't pride speaking or imagination running wild. That was the echo of your calling resonating in your spirit, a calling too sacred to be diluted by people-pleasing, too powerful to be choked by fear of what others might think, breaking every limitation. So many people have lived entire lifetimes and died without ever stepping into the fullness of who they truly are in me. They remained trapped in other people's opinions, confined by circumstances, limited by their own fears. But that will not be your story. I am breaking every false identity that has been imposed upon you. I am shattering every ceiling of limitation that has been constructed over your head. I am destroying every lie that has kept you thinking small, playing it safe, settling for less. You were born for such a time as this, not to blend into the background, but to shine with my glory. Not to whisper when boldness is needed, but to speak with divine authority. Not to shrink back in fear, but to move forward with confidence, rooted in my power within you. But understand this: true authority doesn't come from volume or aggression. It comes from intimacy with me, from knowing who you are as my beloved child, and you, my precious one, are growing in both, in intimacy and in authority. You're not just being called to a new level, you're being commissioned for a divine assignment. Recognizing your divine assignment. Do not underestimate for a moment what I have placed inside you. The dreams that stir your heart are not random thoughts or wishful thinking. The burdens you feel for certain people or situations are not emotional weakness. The convictions that burn in your heart like holy fire are not personality quirks. They are assignments from heaven, missions I have entrusted specifically to you. You've been given vision not for decoration or to make you feel special, but for execution. You're meant to act on what I show you, to move on what I speak to you, to build what I blueprint in your heart. I will give you supernatural strategy that confounds human wisdom. I will send divine connections that open doors you never thought to knock on. I will breathe life on the work of your hands so that what you build will last. But first, you must stop waiting for permission from people I never required you to consult. Stop looking for approval from voices that don't carry authority in your life. Stop seeking validation from those who can't see what I see in you. The time for movement. It's time to move. Not recklessly without wisdom, but reverently with faith. You will not need every detail mapped out before you start. You don't need a complete business plan before you step into your calling. You don't need perfect circumstances before you obey my voice. You just need a yes. A surrendered, unwavering, unapologetic yes to whatever I'm asking of you. That yes is the seed of every miracle I want to perform through your life. That yes is the spark that ignites every movement I want to start in your generation. Do not say, "I'm not ready yet. I need more time, more training, more confidence." I have made you ready through every experience you've walked through. Every scar has prepared you for this moment. Every delay has matured you for this assignment. Every broken piece of your past has been masterfully restored in me. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are defined by what I have redeemed from it, by what I have created out of the raw materials of your life. Others are waiting. And now, right now, others are waiting for you to step into your destiny. There are people waiting to hear the sound of your voice speaking truth into their darkness. There are hearts waiting to feel the weight of your presence bringing peace into their chaos. There are souls waiting to see the light you carry illuminating their path forward. This is not a burden designed to overwhelm you. This is a gift that comes with being chosen by the God of the universe. This is the honor of being entrusted with something that can change lives, transform communities, impact generations. You don't need to know the final destination before you start walking. You don't need to see the entire staircase before you take the first step. I will guide you step by step, thought by thought, breath by breath, decision by decision. I'm not a distant guide shouting instructions from heaven. I'm your present shepherd, walking right beside you, whispering through your spirit, leading you in paths of righteousness for my name's sake, confronting fear with truth. I know what you fear. I see the risks you've calculated in your mind during sleepless nights. I understand the what-ifs that crowd your thoughts when you consider stepping out of your comfort zone. But child, listen to my heart. What if you succeed beyond your wildest dreams? What if the breakthrough you've been praying for is waiting on the other side of obedience? What if the joy you've been aching for comes not through the easy path, but through trusting me in the difficulty? I never promised you a storm-free life. That would not produce the character I want to develop in you. But I did promise that I would be your peace in every storm, your anchor when the winds blow, your steady presence when everything else shakes. And that peace, that unshakable confidence in my love, will anchor your soul in the days to come. You will not collapse under pressure because you were not built for collapse. You were built for this moment, for this calling, for this assignment. Not because of your natural talent or abilities, but because of my spirit living within you, empowering you, strengthening you, giving you everything you need. I have fortified your soul through every trial you've endured. I have surrounded your mind with heavenly reinforcements that you can't see, but that are absolutely real. You're not going crazy when you sense my presence. You're waking up to spiritual realities. You are shedding the numbness that once protected you from pain, but also kept you from purpose. You're rising with holy urgency, not to perform for approval, but to fulfill the destiny I've written over your life. Part of a divine movement. You are part of something infinitely greater than yourself. You are not alone in this calling. You are a link in a divine chain of believers, a vessel in a spiritual lineage of overcomers who have changed the world through surrender to my will. Heaven itself is backing your obedience. Angels are assigned to your protection and success. The cloud of witnesses, all those who have gone before you in faith, are cheering you on from the grandstands of eternity. You're not the only one I'm calling in this generation, but you are one of the essential ones. You are irreplaceable in my plan. If you don't speak what I've given you to say, something sacred will go unsaid. If you don't do what I've called you to do, something holy will remain undone. If you don't become who I've destined you to be, the world will miss something beautiful that only you can provide. When doubt returns, and when doubt tries to creep back in, and it will, when the fog of confusion attempts to cloud your vision again, when the voices of the past try to pull you back into old patterns of thinking, return here. Return to my voice speaking over your life. Return to this moment of clarity and calling. Let these words remind you of the truth. You are chosen for this time and purpose. You are equipped with everything you need. You are ready for what I'm asking of you. You don't have to feel brave to act bravely. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite the fear. Just move with me, step by step, day by day. I will make your path straight when it seems crooked. I will make your steps firm when the ground feels shaky. I will make the crooked places smooth when obstacles seem insurmountable. This is the season of becoming. Not becoming someone completely different, but becoming who I always saw when I formed you in the secret place before you were born. The world has yet to see the fullness of what I placed in you, but they will. Not for your glory and fame, but for mine. Not to make you proud, but to make me known. Your life as testimony. Your life will testify to my goodness, my faithfulness, my transforming power. Your journey will become a roadmap for others who are lost and searching. Your story will become a beacon of hope for those trapped in despair. And the beautiful part is you won't have to strive and struggle to make it happen. You'll simply need to stay in step with me. Keep your hand in mine. Maintain intimacy with my heart. The road ahead is holy ground because I am walking it with you. And you are never, ever walking alone. I am with you, living within you, going before you to prepare the way. Keep moving forward in faith. Keep trusting when you can't see. Keep becoming everything I created you to be, beloved child of mine. The culmination, a divine eruption. As we reach the culmination of this divine message, understand that this is not an ending but a powerful beginning. What I have spoken into your spirit through these words was never intended to remain as mere inspiration that fades with time. This is a clarion call to action, to spiritual awakening, to complete transformation of how you live and breathe and move in this world. You have been stirred in your innermost being, not just for comfort in difficulty, but for commissioning to service. You have received these words not just to be filled with good feelings, but to be poured out as an offering to others. And now, with all of heaven as witness and my spirit as your constant guide, you step boldly into the fullness of what I created you for before time began. This is your time, not born of luck or coincidence, but forged in the furnace of eternity. I chose you specifically for this moment in history. I placed you in this generation on purpose. Your presence on this earth is not random or accidental. It is prophetic. It is part of my master plan to reach this world with love, hope, and redemption. And a difference I. This is your. You carry within you solutions to problems the world doesn't even know it has yet. You carry light for darkness that is coming. You carry hope for despair that threatens to overwhelm. You carry love for hatred that seeks to divide. You carry my presence into every room you enter, every conversation you have, every life you touch. Walking in holy discipline. Go now and walk in holy discipline that sets you apart for sacred use. Guard your peace with the tenacity of a soldier protecting something precious. Keep your eyes fixed on me when distractions scream for attention. When the chaos of life swirls around you, remember this moment of clarity. When voices try to sway you from my path, return to my voice speaking over your destiny. When fear whispers lies about your inadequacy, shout my truth about your identity and call. I am your anchor in every storm that will come. I am your compass in every moment of confusion. I am your strength when you feel weak and overwhelmed. You will not fall because my hands are underneath you. You will not falter because I go before you, preparing the way, removing obstacles, opening doors that need to be opened, and closing doors that need to remain closed. The final declaration. You are my hands extended to touch the hurting. You are my feet sent to go where others won't go. You are my voice called to speak what others are afraid to say. You are my vessel chosen to carry my presence into dark places. Let the world see what I can accomplish through one completely surrendered heart. Let them witness what happens when someone says yes to my calling without reservation. This is not hype designed to manipulate your emotions. This is holy truth, spoken from the throne room of heaven. And it is as real as the breath in your lungs, as certain as the beating of your heart. The world is waiting for you to step into your destiny. The harvest of souls is ready, but the laborers are few. The time is now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel more prepared. The time is this moment. What you've carried in private, I'm now releasing in public. What I've whispered to your heart in midnight hours, you will soon declare from the mountaintops of influence I'm giving you. This is not just another season of slight change. This is a divine eruption of purpose and power. Everything is shifting in the spiritual realm. Everything is aligning according to my perfect plan. Everything is about to break open in ways that will astound you and those watching your life. And I, the Lord your God, the Creator of all that exists, rejoice over you. I sing over you with joy that echoes through eternity. I celebrate your yes with all of heaven. I delight in your surrender, like a father delights in his beloved child. I am proud of you, not because of what you've accomplished or achieved, but because of who you are to me, my child, my vessel, my warrior in the battle for souls, my beloved bride who has captured my heart. You are perfectly positioned for this moment in history. Step forward in unshakable faith, knowing that I am with you always, and that your greatest days are not behind you. They are ahead of you, waiting to unfold in magnificent splendor. The sacred burden and divine weight. My beloved, as you continue to absorb these words into the deepest chambers of your heart, understand that what I am placing upon you carries sacred weight. This is not a burden designed to crush your spirit, but a divine mantle that will elevate you into realms of influence and impact you never imagined possible. When I call someone to carry significant responsibility, I also provide supernatural grace to bear it with joy rather than strain. The assignments I am releasing over your life in this season will stretch every fiber of your being, but they will also fulfill you in ways that nothing else ever could. You were created for impact, not invisibility. You were designed to carry my glory into places where darkness has reigned too long. You were formed to make history, not simply survive it or observe it from the sidelines. There is a stirring in the spiritual realm that is reverberating through dimensions you cannot see. The enemy knows that something significant is shifting, and he is mobilizing every weapon in his arsenal to stop what I am doing, through vessels like you. But take courage. His frantic opposition is actually confirmation that you are moving in the right direction, that you are stepping into something that threatens his kingdom of darkness. The price of divine elevation. This journey ahead will demand everything from you, but understand this: I never ask for sacrifice without providing supernatural compensation. What I will require of you in surrender, I will more than repay in satisfaction, fulfillment, and eternal reward. The price of following me completely has always included temporary losses that lead to eternal gains. There will be relationships that cannot survive your transformation because they were built on the old version of you that I am calling you to leave behind. Do not mourn these losses excessively. They are necessary pruning that makes room for covenant connections that will strengthen rather than drain you. I am bringing you into alignment with people who will sharpen your vision, protect your calling, and run alongside you in purpose rather than pulling you backward into comfort zones that no longer fit. Your new level of authority will require new levels of accountability to me. The influence I place in your hands must be stewarded with integrity that goes beyond mere outward behavior. I am looking at your heart, your motives, your private thoughts and attitudes. Power in the wrong hands becomes dangerous. But power in surrendered hands becomes a tool for healing, restoration, and transformation. The acceleration of divine timing. Prepare yourself for acceleration that will take your breath away. What has taken others years to accomplish, you will achieve in months. What seemed impossible based on natural circumstances will suddenly become not just possible, but inevitable. I am releasing supernatural speed in the spiritual realm that will manifest in the natural realm in ways that will leave you amazed. The doors you once had to knock on repeatedly will swing open before you even approach them. The resources you've struggled to obtain will flow toward you like rivers seeking the ocean. The confirmations you've waited for will arrive in such abundance that you will have no doubt about my direction for your life. But remember, beloved, this acceleration is not designed to feed your ego or make you feel superior to others. It is divine strategy to accomplish maximum impact in minimum time. Because the window of opportunity for this move of my spirit is specific and limited. I am preparing you quickly because the world's need is urgent, and I have chosen you to be part of the solution. The ministry of presence. You will discover that one of your most powerful gifts is simply your presence. When you walk into environments filled with chaos, confusion, or conflict, you will carry an atmosphere of peace that begins to transform the spiritual climate immediately. This is not something you will manufacture through effort. It is something that flows naturally from your intimacy with me. People will be drawn to you without understanding why. They will find themselves opening up to you, sharing burdens they have carried alone, asking questions they have been afraid to voice. This is because they sense something different about you. Not perfection, but authenticity, rooted in relationship with me. Your words will carry weight far beyond their natural impact. When you speak truth in love, hardened hearts will begin to soften. When you declare my promises over situations, faith will be awakened in others. When you pray, spiritual atmospheres will shift in ways that create space for miracles to manifest. The multiplication principle. Everything you place in my hands will multiply beyond your ability to track or control. The time you invest in prayer will yield results in multiple areas of your life simultaneously. The resources you sow in faith will return to you in forms you never expected. But the multiplication I'm describing goes beyond material provision. I am multiplying your spiritual capacity, your emotional resilience, your intellectual understanding, your creative abilities. You will find yourself operating in realms of wisdom and insight that surprise even you. Ideas will flow through your mind like rivers of inspiration. Solutions to complex problems will come to you in dreams, in worship, in quiet moments of reflection. This is not a reward for good behavior. It is the natural result of alignment with my purposes. When you sync your heart with mine, when you allow my priorities to become your priorities, when you surrender your agenda to embrace mine, heaven's resources automatically become available to you. The warfare reality. Be prepared for increased spiritual warfare as you step into higher levels of calling. The enemy does not attack those who pose no threat to his kingdom. The intensity of opposition you face is often directly proportional to the significance of your assignment. But do not be intimidated by the battle. Be encouraged by it. It means you are moving in the right direction. I have equipped you with weapons that are not carnal but mighty through God, to the pulling down of strongholds. Your worship is a weapon that confounds demonic strategies. Your purity is a weapon that exposes darkness and creates safe spaces for others. Your joy is a weapon that defeats discouragement and hopelessness wherever you go. Learn to recognize the enemy's tactics so you can counter them effectively. He will try to isolate you from other believers who could encourage and strengthen you. He will whisper lies about your worthiness, your calling, your ability to hear my voice clearly. He will attempt to distract you with lesser opportunities that look good but lead away from your highest purpose. But I have given you discernment that grows sharper with use. You will learn to distinguish between my voice and the voice of the enemy, between divine opportunities and satanic counterfeits, between healthy relationships and toxic connections that masquerade as friendship. The stewardship test. As I elevate you into positions of greater influence, I will also test your stewardship of what I place in your hands. How you handle small assignments determines whether I can trust you with larger ones. How you treat people who can do nothing for you reveals the true condition of your heart. How you respond to criticism and praise shows whether you are motivated by man's approval or mine. The favor that comes with your calling is not for personal comfort, but for kingdom advancement. The platform I provide is not for self-promotion, but for gospel proclamation. The resources I entrust to you are not for selfish accumulation, but for generous distribution to those in need. Remember always that promotion comes from me, not from human connections or political maneuvering. I lift up one and put down another according to my sovereign purposes. Stay humble in heart, regardless of how high I elevate you. Never forget that without me, you can do nothing of eternal significance. The intimacy requirement. The higher I take you in terms of public influence, the deeper I require you to go in private intimacy with me. Your public ministry can never exceed your private worship without creating dangerous imbalance that leads to spiritual shipwreck. The applause of men must never become a substitute for the approval of God. Protect your secret place with fierce determination. Guard your prayer time like you would guard your most precious possession, because that's exactly what it is. In the secret place, your spiritual batteries are recharged. In the secret place, your vision is clarified. In the secret place, your heart is purified, and your motives are examined. The enemy will use every strategy possible to rob you of intimate time with me. He knows that your power source is our relationship, and if he can create enough busyness and distraction to weaken that connection, he can neutralize your effectiveness regardless of your giftings or opportunities. The generational impact. What I am doing in your life extends far beyond your personal breakthrough. You are breaking generational curses that have plagued your family line for decades. You are establishing new patterns of faith, obedience, and blessing that your children and grandchildren will inherit. You are rewriting your family's spiritual DNA through surrendered obedience to my calling. The courage you demonstrate in facing your fears becomes a legacy of bravery for those who come after you. The integrity you maintain under pressure sets a standard of character that will influence your bloodline for generations. The faith you exercise in impossible situations creates a heritage of trust in God that will be passed down like a family treasure. But the impact extends beyond your natural family to your spiritual family as well. The example you set of wholehearted devotion to me will inspire others to pursue deeper relationship with me. The victories you win through faith will become testimonies that strengthen others who face similar battles. The love you demonstrate in difficult circumstances will be a witness to my transforming power that draws the lost into my kingdom. The overflow principle. As you continue to pour yourself out in service to me and others, you will discover a supernatural principle. The more you give, the more you receive. But this is not a mathematical formula you can manipulate for personal gain. It is a spiritual law that operates automatically when your heart is aligned with mine. The encouragement you offer to the discouraged will return to you multiplied when you need it most. The comfort you provide to the grieving will be available to you in your own seasons of loss. The hope you kindle in the hopeless will burn brightly in your own heart during dark nights of the soul. This overflow touches every area of your life, not just the spiritual aspects. Your creativity will flow like a river that never runs dry. Your energy will be supernaturally sustained, even when natural logic says you should be exhausted. Your joy will bubble up from depths that circumstances cannot touch. The authority that comes. With your new level of calling comes new authority that operates in both natural and spiritual realms. When you speak words of blessing over people, those blessings will manifest in tangible ways. When you pray for healing, you will see recoveries that medical science cannot explain. When you declare freedom over captives, chains will break that have held people bound for years. But this authority is not given for self-serving purposes or to demonstrate your spirituality. It is given to advance my kingdom, to demonstrate my love, to bring glory to my name. Every miracle performed through your hands should point people to me, not to you. The authority I give you also includes the ability to recognize and resist false spiritual influences. You will be able to discern when someone is operating under deception or when a situation is influenced by demonic activity. This discernment is not given to make you proud or superior, but to help you minister effectively and protect those under your care. The cost of authentic ministry. True ministry always costs something, and what it costs you will vary according to your unique calling. For some, it costs reputation as they take stands that are unpopular with certain groups. For others, it costs comfort as they are called to serve in difficult or dangerous places. For many, it costs control as they learn to trust my timing rather than forcing their own agendas. But understand this, whatever the cost of obedience, the cost of disobedience is always higher. The price of saying yes to me is always less than the price of saying no. The sacrifice required for following me completely is always outweighed by the satisfaction of fulfilling your divine purpose. There will be moments when the cost seems overwhelming, when you wonder if the sacrifice is worth it. In those moments, remember this conversation. Remember the fire that burned in your heart as you read these words. Remember the peace that settled in your spirit as you recognized my voice speaking directly to you. A supernatural provision. As you step fully into your calling, you will witness provision that cannot be explained by natural means. Resources will come from sources you never anticipated. Opportunities will appear at exactly the right moments. People will be moved to help you in ways that can only be attributed to my intervention. But this provision is not primarily about material wealth, though that may be included, according to my purposes for your life. The provision I'm speaking of encompasses everything you need to fulfill your calling: wisdom beyond your education, strength beyond your natural capacity, peace beyond your qualifications, peace beyond your circumstances. You will discover that when you are walking in the center of my will, lack becomes impossible. Not because I remove all challenges, but because I provide everything necessary to overcome every challenge. Not because the path becomes easy, but because my grace becomes sufficient for every difficulty. The transformation of identity. The most profound change taking place in your life is not in your circumstances, but in your identity. You are transitioning from seeing yourself as someone who serves God to understanding that you are someone through whom God serves others. This shift in perspective changes everything about how you approach ministry, relationships, and daily life. You are moving from asking, "What can I do for God?" to declaring, "What will God do through me?" You are shifting from trying to be good enough for God to use you to resting in the truth that God has already made you adequate through Christ. You are transforming from someone who hopes to hear from God occasionally to someone who expects to hear from God consistently. This identity transformation affects how you pray, how you read Scripture, how you make decisions, how you treat people, how you handle opposition, how you celebrate victories. Everything flows from your understanding of who you are in me and who I am in you. The ripple effect. Every act of obedience you perform creates ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. When you say yes to my promptings, even small ones, you set in motion a chain of events that can impact people you will never meet in this lifetime. Your faithfulness in small things positions you for greater things, but it also creates opportunities for others to be blessed, healed, saved, and delivered. The conversation you have with a stranger because I prompted you might be the word of hope that prevents a suicide. The financial gift you give in obedience might provide the exact resource a ministry needs to reach an entire community with the gospel. The prayer you pray in faith might break a generational curse that has affected multiple families. Never underestimate the significance of simple obedience. The kingdom of God advances through countless small acts of faithfulness performed by people who may never see the full impact of their surrender to my will. The coming glory. What I am preparing to do in your life is just the beginning of a move of my Spirit that will touch nations. You are part of a generation that will see unprecedented displays of my power, unusual demonstrations of my love, and extraordinary manifestations of my glory. The revival that is coming will make historical revivals look small by comparison. You have been chosen not just to witness this move, but to help facilitate it. The platform I give you, the influence I place in your hands, the anointing I pour upon your life, all of it is preparation for your role in the greatest harvest of souls the world has ever seen. But this coming glory will also bring increased responsibility. Much will be required of those to whom much is given. The light that shines through you will expose darkness in ways that create both attraction and opposition. Some will be drawn to the hope you carry. Others will be threatened by the truth you represent. The eternal perspective. As you walk forward into all that I have prepared for you, maintain an eternal perspective that keeps temporary setbacks in proper context. What seems like failure in the moment may be preparation for greater victory. What looks like loss may be divine protection from something that would have harmed you later. I see the end from the beginning, and every step of your journey is calculated to bring you to the exact place you need to be for maximum impact. Trust my timing, even when it doesn't make sense. Trust my methods, even when they seem unconventional. Trust my love, even when circumstances seem to suggest otherwise. Your life is being lived on two levels simultaneously: the natural level that others can observe, and the spiritual level where eternal battles are won and lost. Never let the visible temporary circumstances overshadow the invisible eternal realities. You are winning victories in heavenly places that will manifest in earthly places at the appointed time. The final call. And now, my beloved child, As these words draw toward their conclusion, let them sink deep into your spirit like seeds planted in fertile soil. What I have spoken over your life is not wishful thinking or emotional manipulation. It is prophetic declaration from the throne room of heaven, sealed with the authority of my name and backed by all the resources of eternity. You stand at a threshold that few have the privilege to cross. You are being invited into a level of partnership with me that demands everything but provides everything needed for success. The choice is yours, but know this: I would not have spoken all of this over your life if I did not believe you were ready to receive it and act upon it. The world is waiting for what I will do through you. History is holding its breath for your yes. Eternity is watching to see how you will respond to this divine invitation. Your answer will determine not only your own destiny, but the destiny of countless others whose lives will be touched through your obedience. Do not let fear rob you of this moment. Do not let doubt steal this opportunity. Do not let the enemy convince you that you are not qualified, not ready, not worthy. You are, because I say you are. You can because I will enable you. You will because I have ordained it. Rise up, my beloved. Step forward in faith. Embrace your calling with courage. Walk in the authority I have given you. Love with the love I have placed in your heart. Serve with the gifts I have deposited in your spirit. And watch as I do more through your yielded life than you ever dared to imagine. The time is now. The hour has come. Your moment has arrived. Step into your destiny with confidence, knowing that I go before you, walk beside you, and will never leave you nor forsake you. This is your time to shine. This is your season to soar. This is your moment to step into the fullness of everything I created you to be and do. I believe in you. Heaven is cheering for you, and all creation is groaning for the manifestation of who you truly are. Go forth, my beloved, and let my glory be revealed through your life in ways that will astound both you and those who witness it. You are ready. You are equipped. You are anointed. You are sent. The world will never be the same because you said yes to me.